What's going on, guys, and welcome to January's episode of Plus Club, the show where we play the games offered on PlayStation Plus throughout the month, and at the end of the month we talk about them like a book club. My name's Seth, and joining me today, of course, is Chevy. Chevy, how you doing? And are you excited to talk about Need for Speed Unbound, Epic Mickey, Rebrushed, Core Keeper, and find out what we'll be playing in February?
Doing pretty good. I'm a little tired. I've been working a lot of overtime lately, but it'll be nice when I see my paycheck.
Sure.
Other than that, not too much of a surprise on what we're playing next month. That was kind of spoiled for me a little earlier, but that's fine. And then as far as like the games this month, I played all of them, though I kind of wish I would have played two of them a little longer, but it is what it is, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited to discuss the games that we played. One of them we have already played in the past. We actually did a review for Core Keeper about 4 months ago, so I don't expect my or your opinion to have changed too much, but we'll talk about it when we do. And then the other two games, well, one of them I already played as well, but I returned to, so be fun to talk about those games, and then also finding out the games. We're getting 4 games in February. We had 5 in December. Now we got 4, so they're just giving games out, and luckily I'll have time to play these because I've been off work for the last 2 weeks, and will be off work another week because I have a fucked up back, which has been a lot of fun. But it's giving me time to play games as much as I can enjoy them when I'm doped up on medication to help with that. So, but yeah, it'll be fun to talk about this. You got anything else you want to say before we jump into this?
Nope.
All right, so let's find out what we will be playing in February, and those games are Undisputed, Subnautica Below Zero, Ace Combat 7, and Ultros. In case you don't know, Undisputed is like a boxing game, Subnautica is like an underwater survival game, Ultros is a 2D Metroidvania, and then Ace Combat 7 is a flight dogfight sim. What do we think?
If I'm being completely honest, it's a whole lot of stuff I'm not like super interested in. If I'm more excited for any of them, it's probably Ace Combat, just because I haven't played a game like that in a long time. Mm-hmm. So that one I have some interest there just because I'm ignorant at this point. The one I really am going to struggle with, and I'm going to do my best to play it this month, but I hate being underwater in games. Like, I hate it. And that's all Subnautica is. So, look forward to seeing if I change my mind at the end of February, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see. I already own Ace Combat 7, so this will be me returning to it, which is cool. Subnautica, I played the original game. I have not played this. It'll be interesting to find out if it's cool or not. Undisputed, I didn't even know was a thing. And Ultros, I've surprisingly never heard of as well. But I don't have a big affinity for 2D Metroidvanias, as bad as that sounds for a lot of people. I know a lot of people love them. They normally don't do much for me, so it'll be interesting to check this one out. We watched a trailer for it. It looks very psychedelic, so it'll be fun checking out these games and talking about them at the end of February. Anything else you want to say on these games?
Nope. Out in 2 days, so.
Yep, very soon. Recording. Yep. All right, so let's jump into the games that we did play. Again, those games were Need for Speed Unbound, Epic Mickey, Rebrushed, and Core Keeper. We should probably start with Core Keeper because we played it a couple months ago. If you didn't get a chance to play Core Keeper, it's basically a top-down Terraria in which you start at a core, you move outwards, you're underground, so you're digging through like mines and stuff. You're finding resources, you're building buildings, you're building machines, you're building stuff to craft, armor, weapons. You're discovering a bunch of stuff. There are bosses that you find that you have to fight to basically progress, very Terraria-esque. Pets that level up, you level up. There's perks that you pick as you level up, and a bunch of different biomes to explore. And it's all procedurally generated, so every time you play a different game with a different seed, you'll have a different world to explore. Anything else I should add?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, well, we both played it. Tell us your opinion of the game or thoughts on it in January.
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't remember what I said about it before, so this will be an interesting comparison, I suppose.
One thing I want to add just real quick. We both played it on PS5, as we hold ourselves to do just to get an idea of it. But we did move over to our save on PC after we experienced on PS5 because we already had progress there. So we have played on PS5. We did experience it there, but we played mostly on PC. And the footage you're seeing actually is on PC because I had an issue this month where 2 of the games would not move over to my
Thumb drive.
Thumb drive, yeah, for some reason. The other 2 videos would, but the PS5 footage wouldn't. And I thought it'd be more interesting for you guys to see later footage than just the right in the beginning footage.
Yeah.
So anyway, just being transparent about that.
Yeah. I'm generally pretty fond of games like this. I like, the pseudo like RPG nature of like, collecting, the gear and finding better stuff and getting, more, rare and more, towards the end game materials, blah, 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 that whole cycle. This game does a pretty good job of it, though. I do think sometimes it feels like you get just kind of lost exploring and not finding anything. So, and that's just the nature, I suppose, of it being a seed style game. Though there is some rules to that because there are obviously things you have to be able to do to progress. An example of that is there's like a wall keeping you inside and you can only explore so far out because you have to find X amount of bosses. So those biomes have to exist, right? But an example of this is we found like the first, and not this month, but in the past, we found the first like 2-3 bosses like super quick and easy. When we played this time, we did 2 more bosses, or no, 1. We didn't end up finding the second one.
Yeah. We felt like an optional, not optional, but just he wasn't like a progression based boss.
Yeah, he was just a boss.
Yeah.
And we actually warmed up on that fight, which was a weird way to warm up to the game.
Yeah.
But knocked that out, and then we started looking for the last of the progression bosses to get past that initial wall. And we played for hours and did not find him. So that's kind of crazy.
Although I got a really cool hammer that you found that digs in 2x3.
2x3, yeah.
Yeah, so makes getting through areas a lot faster, which is awesome since I have so much spec'd into my digging.
Yeah, and if you're into exploration, that's basically what we did for hours.
Yeah.
When we had that play session. So some good and some bad depending on how you look at it, right? I personally, I don't mind like spending time doing that, but just kind of a warning, like sometimes you might, if you have an objective, it might be a little hard to do sometimes because you got to find it. So the pet system and whatnot, we've kind of played with a little bit. We got some new ones this time around. I don't think we got to play with them too much, though. You did get one that offers buffs. I don't know how that went, but that was a new one. It was nice to see some new ones because when we played the first time, there was like 3 that we just kept getting over and over again. And this time we did find 2 new eggs. We never did get to hatch the second one. It's in the incubator. But
the one you gave me like, it doesn't fight for me like other pets do. It gave me like ranged buffs.
Yeah, and I know one of the old pets we had was also a buffing pet and not a fighting pet.
Which is cool that there's
cool, yeah.
a variety of pets.
Yeah, and I like that kind of stuff in games. And then my weapon of choice in the game is a book that summons stuff, and there are multiple of them, and there are gear sets that improve that as well. So you can actually be a summoner, you can be a caster, you can be a ranged person, melee, etc. So a lot of play styles, which is really cool. Like, I'm huge props on that, especially because I think a lot of games when they do pet jobs are kind of boring. I do think it's a little bit fun in this game. And I think a large part of that too is because because it's a hotbar system and your skills are based off of items. You use the book, you summon stuff, and then I could switch over to a staff and start using spells. And it has a system where like the more you do something, it levels up and it has its own skill tree, based on the school it belongs to. So, which is pretty cool. And that includes like the living stuff. That's like, gardening and mining and stuff like that too. So I love that kind of stuff. It rewards your grinding basically. Other than that, I think the gameplay loop is fun. It's addictive.
It's a gameplay loop that I normally don't rush to go play, but when I start playing it, it's hard to stop.
Exactly.
Because there's so many micro projects I'm working on, and anyone who's played like Minecraft or any game like this is going to know this, but I started working on one project. I started working on another. I'm like, oh, I need this
Yeah,
resource.
right,
I go
right.
look for that. And while I'm looking for that, I find some new thing. And I'm like, oh, this thing's fucking cool. And I started using that. And then I find a new pet. And I started working with that. And then, oh, where's the boss? I haven't found him yet. We're still looking. Oh, I found this whole new area that is like this. There's actually like an entrance, so it's kind of like a dungeon, and we have to go through this place and explore it now. Oh, there's an exit, and there's a door with a music thing. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I have an ocarina back at the house. I go back and grab that. We play that, figure that out, open that up. There's rewards. It's just nonstop. And me and Sarah have played further than me and you have played. So I know there's way more to it afterwards, but even beyond that, I don't know. Like,
Right.
there's just a lot of shit to this game.
Yeah, which is neat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really have any like major complaints other than I do think getting around is a little encumbersome sometimes. But you know, once you put the work in to make the pathways and stuff like that, obviously that hurdle goes away. And obviously now that you have that new hammer, that does speed that up quite a bit. So
Oh, it's great.
so those are just things we had to earn. But if there was one part of the game where I was like, kind of like, okay, come on, man. It was like trying to find stuff sometimes sometimes I felt like I was just digging rock and that's all I was getting. And I was like, oh my God, give me something, please.
Yeah, but that makes it more rewarding when you do find the thing because you
Yeah.
sat there and had to work for it. So
Sure. And I it's not like such an issue that I'm like, oh, I hate this game type of thing. It was just
Sure.
like, if I have a nitpick, that's going to be it. Like,
Yeah.
otherwise I honestly just enjoy playing the game. I do agree it's not something I can play all the time because so similar to a game like, Civilization, I just know that I'm going to sit down. That's probably my day now. So
yeah, it's not a game you like hop on for like 30 minutes and hop off. Like it's a game
Yeah.
you need to have many hours available to you. So
yeah, but overall, I mean, this month we didn't play like a whole lot, but obviously we played in the past, and we did put a long session in this month.
Yep.
I had fun. So
on the PS5 front, what do you think of the controls?
they are okay.
Yeah.
I did have to like kind of rewire my brain a little bit. It didn't seem super intuitive for some reason. But
Yeah,
I didn't hate it.
I thought they were functional. Felt a little over encumbered though. Like if it's the only way you could play the game, they're completely fine. I just because I was so used to playing it on mouse and keyboard and using like 1, 2, 3, 4 to go around my items as opposed to I forgot how you do it on there, but I think it's like the shoulder buttons or something. It's just feels. I don't know. Maybe it's just because that's not how I played it originally. But
Right.
but I feel like if you played it only on PS5, you would just get used to that. But
yeah, of course you
But
would.
like building and stuff just felt a little more slowed down too. Just like when you play it on console, like play Minecraft on console, everything feels just a little slower because you're, having to aim with a analog stick, stuff like that. But it's completely fine. And then when it came to performance on PS5 for me, it played exactly how it should.
Yeah,
so.
no problems there.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
good.
honestly, my only complaint on console was the controls are just not my preference. I'm not even going to call them bad. They're just not my preference.
For
I think
combat, they feel fun 'cause it kind of feels like you're playing Zelda.
Yeah.
But like an older one. But
for the functioning stuff, it's a bit. I think encumbersome is a good word for it. So
though the button that allows you to, and shout out to whoever said it last time we reviewed Core Keeper, we're having this issue where you press
yeah.
Q and all your
Yeah,
items
yeah.
just go into boxes if you have doubles of them. And sometimes things I was using would go into boxes, and we complained about, oh, you can't lock items. And somebody in the comments was like, actually, over on the left side, there's a lock. Click that. Click the items you don't want to float out when you hit that button. Sure shit, it worked. So thank you for that.
yeah, if you see this, yeah.
I do appreciate when we do complain about something and I'm not quite sure about if there's a way to do it. We ask you guys, and sometimes you guys tell us, and it's been great
Made
knowing
a world of
that.
difference.
So what I was going to say, though, on console, it's kind of nice to have a feature like that where you can just auto put everything away, because now you don't have to go around and use the D-pad to
that
go
would be
through
exhausting.
inventory and micromanage stuff, because it's just a little extra work on a controller as opposed to mouse and keyboard. So I do think it's a good function for that as well. Yeah. Anything else? I'll make this pretty brief. So I like this game quite a bit. We played it before. I gave a positive review of it then. I still feel the exact same way. Nothing has changed in terms of my opinion. So you could literally go watch that review, and it's going to be this. But I do think Core Keeper has a good visual style, a unique visual style for being a 2D pixel game. I think the exploration is a lot of fun. Even just mining, eventually you level things up or find chests in the walls. So even if you're just exploring and mining, you're gonna find stuff. The biomes, I think, are balanced well. You are always finding new things that keeps you interested. The combat is simple, but fine. I play a ranged guy, so I typically am just dodging around and shooting the whole time. And, that's fun. Then my pet would typically attack. I had a fox before that shot like fireballs, but now I have a passive pet, so it just is there with me while I shoot, but it allows me to do more damage from a distance, so that's cool. I've spec'd mostly into mining, so my guy has a higher breaking damage. I forget what it's called, but the damage you do to walls when you're mining.
I think it's just mining.
Yeah, it's higher than yours. So
yeah, because I was using that hammer before I gave it to you, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a big improvement. And then I watched you use it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just one hitting, boom, boom.
Because I was hitting things like 3 times.
Yeah, it was basically like one of those fucking boring drills.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. The building is cool. It's like top down, so it's pretty basic, but you can do a lot of cool things. There's a lot of decoration type stuff you can do as well, which I enjoy. There's like tables. You can put things on the table, so you can kind of make things your own.
You have a rare drop chance of statues dropping off of enemies. So
yep,
as well. So.
We found a lab, like a modern lab, which was
weird.
Interesting. I've never seen that before. And I got like these, like, it almost looks like beakers, but they're like glowing with stuff in them. So they're like lights you can put down, which is kind of cool. Also a vending machine that you can actually spend money that has items you can get out of it. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if they added that recently or it's always been there, but I've never seen it before. So I thought it was pretty neat. And yeah, the one boss we fought this time around was pretty easy because we hadn't played in a while and we came in and I was like, fuck it. Let's just try and beat him. And we ended up doing it. I do believe you died once and had to run back.
Poison. Yeah.
Yep. And I had almost no health and I ran out of the area.
Or acid.
Yeah, because this boss just shoots acid on the ground and we found out with a shovel you can dig it up.
Didn't know until after the fight was over.
Yep. But we beat him and we got some stuff from him, so that's cool. Music's chill. It's a good soundtrack, although it does if you're sleepy, which I've been a lot lately. It definitely puts you in a sleepy mood, but I think it's fitting. What else to talk about? Yeah, I mean, overall, it's a super solid game. I'm not going to recommend it. I was about to recommend it to people.
It's hard not to go into that sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's why I always put that segment right after we talk about it, because then you can just go, okay, recommendations. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should really talk about. Yeah, I'll give a loose recommendation moving into that, though. If you're into these type of games where you are like explore and build and, games like Minecraft that are like survival builder games, you should definitely play this if you haven't, just because it's that solid of a game. There's a lot of items, a lot of stuff to find, which is really cool. I'm always finding stuff that I've never seen before, so that's awesome. And I know they still work on the game, so I think an update is coming out. It's supposed to come out like a day or two ago, I think, but they pushed it back to February, so it should be coming out soon. So that was cool. I was hoping to play that to put in this review, but we weren't able to do that. But yeah, overall, Core Keeper's awesome. It's still as good as it was the last time we reviewed it, and I definitely would like to play it more. I have a lot of games on the list, but it's a game that every time we return to, I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And we're nowhere near the fucking end, so it'd be nice to keep playing it. But yeah, Core Keeper's good, and it played fine on PS5.
Yeah.
Just not my preference of how I'd want to play it. Though I have played it in the past with the controller on PC just to see how, like, I wanted to be lazy and sit back and use a controller. It's completely functional, and if you get used to it, it plays just fine. Especially in combat, I think it feels really good. But yeah, not how because I do a lot of building in games like this. It's not how I want to play. So yeah, got anything else? Our recommendations, if you're into any kind of builder survival game, I would definitely recommend it to you. If you're into like top-down action games, I'd recommend it to you. Even if you're not into like the Minecraft stuff, I think you'd still have fun with this.
I'm going to expand on that and say, if you were into the 8 and 16-bit era of action-adventure games, it kind of fits that.
Yep. Or like old school and Zelda, Willow style games, you might dig it. If you're into exploration games, you should check it out. I know there's games out there where you just kind of go around and find things and discover things. You'll probably dig this. If you're into like the idea of like a soft RPG, you level up in this game. You get pets, Pokemon, basically skill trees. You're upgrading weapons constantly, so it definitely feeds that want for like an RPG, like a light one. So that's pretty cool. And I would say like challenging bosses, but I think we've just played so much before we go to the bosses that we've been basically just kind of wiping them when we find them.
Yeah, though I think a lot of people who play these type of games, if they're not speedrunning them, probably go into most things over prepared because the addictive part of the game, finding all the stuff and whatnot, kind of takes over until you finally convince yourself I should probably progress. And I feel like a lot of people probably play like that.
Well, the first time I played with Sarah, when we first fought the first boss, it was actually kind of challenging. And then we fought the one that goes around the loop, and that was kind of challenging as well. We had to like set up a trap
that was a logistical problem.
But when me and you did it, we just walked through all of them. But we had played so much. I had already played in the past, but like we were playing so much already, finding gear and just exploring, that we were over prepared for it. And it's honestly fine because I view the bosses as progression to get further in the game, but also access to new items. So
yeah, I mean, they're basically walls, right?
So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just interesting that you can just sit there and play the game enough to the point where you get to the boss, you're like, okay, this is kind of easy. So I wouldn't recommend this necessarily for somebody who's looking for a challenge, but if you are into the idea of like discovering and fighting bosses, it will definitely do that for you. Anything else?
No, the only thing I was thinking of was the old school like Zelda, Willow style games, because that's basically what it feels like, just a modern version. So.
You're into cozy games too, maybe, because you can build farms and do like husbandry type shit,
gathering, etc. Yeah, I mean, most of my high skills outside of summoning were gardening and cooking. So
yeah. I think that's about it. So let's jump into grades. I'll grade it first. I'm gonna stick with my original grade, I think, which was A-. I think that could go up to an A if I keep playing the game, but as of right now, I just feel like very confident with the A-. The game's really solid. I don't have a whole lot of complaints about it. It's a solid game. Definitely recommend it, and I enjoy playing it. I just wish I had time to play it more, and I wish it had a more hooking factor to make me come back to it. Because when I play it, I'm just like there. I'm set. I'm going to play this for a while, but I never think to play it, which is weird. So yeah, A-.
Yeah, I don't know what I gave it before, but I'm currently mentally somewhere in between like a B+ and an A-. And I think my experience this month was probably closer to a B+, to be honest, just because we spent a lot of time looking for a boss, and I was starting to get frustrated we couldn't find him. So, but overall, I do like the game a lot, and I do think depending on my play session, my grade would change between a B+ and A-.
I do believe you gave it A- last time.
Okay, well, I mean that kind of makes sense. I'm still kind of almost there anyway mentally. So, but yeah, I mean it's a fun game. It's like right up my alley. So, yeah, check it out.
Yeah, we should definitely play it some more.
Along with everything else.
Yep. All right. Let us know in the comments what do you guys think about Core Keeper. Was this your first time playing? Have you played it in the past? And what's some of your favorite things about it? Maybe you have complaints about it. Let us know everything you're thinking about Core Keeper in the comments below. Next game we played was, let's go with Epic Mickey Rebrushed. If you get a chance to play Epic Mickey Rebrushed, it is I honestly didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the story, but basically you're trying to defeat a bad guy. But you're playing as Mickey Mouse, and it's a platformer, 3D platformer. I believe from the Wii. I read that it was 480p when it came out on the Wii, which is kind of crazy because it's been updated to 4K or something. But anyway, it's a platformer. They've added like a run, a dash, or ground pound type move, some basic stuff you'd expect from platformers. So it's been upgraded. You go around locations, fighting enemies, discovering stuff. You have a brush that has magical properties. You're able to paint things into places and delete things out of places. Otherwise, you're doing a lot of just basic platforming stuff. It has a morality system with NPCs that apparently when you beat the game changes your endings. I did not beat this game, so I can't review that part of it. But you do get to choose things when it comes to the NPCs that you help throughout the game. I forgot what they call it, but there's like a good and then something. They don't call it bad or evil. They call it something else because it's Disney.
I would say. You can't throw that word around. What are you doing?
Yeah. It's got a unique Disney art style, varied locations. It does revisit a lot of old Disney stuff, which is kind of interesting. like old school Disney characters that I can't remember any of their names. I'm not a big Disney guy, and yeah, it's a platformer. You run around and jump on stuff a lot and figure out basic puzzles. We both played it. I'll jump in to my impressions of it. I remember when this game came out, a lot of people talked it up. I think it only was out on the Wii when it first came out. That's probably why I didn't play it. Also, not a big Disney guy, not a big platformer guy, so didn't have a whole lot of pull for me. But I remember a lot of people really talked this game up when it first came out. I was like, that's really interesting. That a Mickey Mouse platformer has like, you know, people my age at the time really talking it up. So coming back to it, I guess, well, coming back to it in the sense that I've seen it, now playing it, it's a pretty solid platformer. Obviously, they added some stuff like being able to run and dash, which is kind of crazy. Didn't have that before, but you know, the times have changed. But these are things I do expect from a platformer nowadays, and they do feel kind of tacked on. The run feels weird. Like when you click run, he does like this kind of weird wide step thing, and you just move a little faster. And I was like, is this just like old school running, or it's because they added it? So I get it now. But yeah, the game is pretty straightforward. You do a lot of running around, jumping on stuff. There's a lot of like moving platforms, and you use your paintbrush to like activate and deactivate certain things to get around. I think in the footage you guys are seeing, there's like these like platforms that are spinning. You can like stop them to like jump on them or time them out, which was very platformer. I was gonna say it's like pretty interesting, but it's kind of what I expect from games like this. Yeah, the art style, I don't have much to say on it, honestly, but the art style I think is cool. It's very classic, but some of the environments I thought were really neat looking, visiting a lot of, it's interesting how like a lot of it's like old school Disney stuff. I think it's really interesting that they even were bold enough to do that and not just revisit, you know, Cinderella and fucking Pocahontas and a bunch of stuff that they've already done.
Yeah, the only thing I was thinking is maybe I don't know what their permissions situation was, but it might have been just easier for permissions and stuff like that too.
Maybe. I feel like it because it has a morality system and it's dealing with a lot of the older Disney stuff, that maybe they were going for an older audience. Like it's for everybody for sure. It's not like dark or anything like that, but it just seems a little elevated from like a kid's platformer maybe. Like I said, with the NPC thing and the morality thing, I didn't beat the game, so I didn't get to see where that leads. I do know a lot of people complained about this game because they had promised more with the morality system, I guess, and they only delivered like different endings. And I think people wanted more from that. I wouldn't have thought much about it because I'm playing a platformer, so I'm not really thinking about morality systems. Right. But I think it's neat they even like did anything with that at all, because a lot of games like this don't have that kind of system. When it comes to the paintbrush and its abilities, they're pretty basic. It did feel like, something a kid could get. So that's probably the desired choice. Yeah, the audience they're going for. Oh, I didn't mention it has 2D sections as well. I thought that was kind of neat. Yeah. I do like when people mix up 3D and 2D in platformers, because even though there's plenty of 2D platformers that exist right now and people are making Metroidvanias constantly,
left and right,
it is neat to see games that are going for the 3D platforming kind of revisit where the genre comes from. So I enjoyed that, and I thought the art style translated well from 3D to a 2D perspective. I can't think of much else to say on it. It's a decent platformer. I think it's not the best a platformer can be, but I've definitely played way worse games, and it's impressive that this was a 480p Wii game, and it looks pretty decent now. So they did a good job with the rebrushing. Right. But yeah, overall, I don't think I'll be coming back to this game. Obviously, you can tell it didn't leave a strong impression on me, just because multiple factors just don't appeal to me. But I gave it a try, and I feel like there's an audience for this for sure, just not me. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go too much into detail. You kind of explained most of the game at this point. So I guess my positive takeaways to start is I do think the visual style is neat because of the era of Mickey they decided to go with. it's refreshing to not just, have only the modern take. I think it's neat to nod to your roots when you're a brand that old. As an example, even like going to Disneyland, even though modern Disney is now kind of ruining some of that old stuff. That's your history. You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. I like that aspect of it.
Like them ruining Tower of Terror and putting in fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was thinking like Splash Mountain, right?
Sure.
That's kind of a very old and questionable in modern days thing.
The last time I was on Splash Mountain, I felt like I was gonna have to sue Disney because the back of the cart we were in was like dragging on the floor, and when we went down hills, I could feel my ass hit. And I was like, if we go down the big thing, it's gonna break my tailbone.
Yeah, or like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they made changes because pirates shouldn't sell women, right? Even though pirates aren't good guys. And regardless, I'm not trying to rant about Disneyland too much. Yeah. So it's cool that they wanted to kind of check out, and go to their old school roots and their history. Outside of that, it's a very standard game. Like, I don't really have any strong opinions one way or another. My strongest opinion is probably that I was bored playing it. I don't really like platformers. And I don't think the mechanics were interesting enough for me to like want to really pay a lot of attention. They're like super simple. You just kind of knock them out real quick to get through the level, and you go. And like not every game has to be like super hard and challenging and stuff like that. In fact, I'm very much a proponent of like not everything needs to be hard all the time. Sometimes experiences are better.
Which is why when I play a game like this, I'm not super judgmental because I think it does everything fine.
Yeah.
And it's not like a super deep game, and it doesn't really need to be because some people might want to play a game that's not super deep, and it's just not a game for me. Yeah. But I could see, since it's Disney brand and Mickey, having kids play it, and it's going to be great for them.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be too judgmental.
Although they should play Ratchet and Clank because it's much better.
Oh, that game's phenomenal.
Yeah.
My personal experience with it is I just like wasn't interested playing it.
Yeah.
And it had a lot things going against my interests anyways, but so it just kind of failed to hook me, and that was pretty much my biggest takeaway this month was like I really felt like I was doing it for the channel and not that I was trying another game out.
Yeah, every once in a while there's that game where I'm like, I'm playing this for the channel. I'm playing this for the channel. Like that's the only reason I'm playing this.
And so, no lasting impression. I probably won't play it again. I don't have any like major complaints about it though. But I also just don't really have a lot positive to say about it either. So,
yeah. Recommendations?
If you're a Disney fan, for sure, especially old school Mickey. If you're into, gimmicky mechanics like the brush, like removing and putting stuff there, that's kind of a core staple, I would say, in a lot of platformers. Not necessarily that particular mechanic, but the idea of having like a gimmick to get through like a level or just like that's part of their character, right? Mm-hmm. And then, if you like the idea of a apparent shallow morality system, check it out.
Yeah. Disney platformers. Kid-friendly games. I'd recommend it to you if you're looking for that. I think that's about it.
It is what it is. So.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend this to everybody just because a lot of people aren't going to be into it. But more people than I thought were into it when it originally came out. And I assume it's a better game now because it has more functionality. So that's cool. I'm kind of glad that they were able to, and maybe you guys feel different, let me know in the comments, but I kind of am glad that they remade the game, made it look better, and added some modern mechanics to it. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but those feel like almost like basic necessities for a modern platformer. So it's good that they even thought about that.
The Wii was kind of weird though because of the button layout and stuff. So I kind of
the what was
the Wii.
Oh, the Wii. Yeah, for sure, dude. So. I'm one of the people on the planet who didn't like the Wii. Like I fucking hated that console.
It was fun for what it was.
Yeah, and I'm one of the weird people who like the Wii U. So, but the Wii U was just a proto Switch.
It was a console at least.
Yeah. But yeah, those are our recommendations. Let's jump into grades. What would you grade it?
I'm going to try to be as fair as I can about it. I'm probably going to give it a B-. I do think it is a fully functioning game, but I don't think it necessarily shines very well. So I have a hard time going too high with it. I think that's about where I feel.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a really soft B. I think it's completely fine, no big complaints. Platformer, it feels very standard. I think the big highlight of it as a platformer is that it is so Disney. It's so Mickey, like everything. It's just like if you're super into Disney stuff, or even if you weren't when you were a kid, you're gonna have some kind of connection to it, because you grew up in a consumer fucking society, and you have had Disney injected into you since you were a kid.
Right.
But as a platformer, it's fine. It's not bad. It doesn't play badly. It just feels slightly dated, but not as dated as it could be because of the modern mechanics that they added to it. But yeah, for me, it's just, as somebody who's not interested in the game at all because of my preferences, I still could see that it was a solid platformer. So B, light B.
Yeah.
So anything else?
Nope.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think about Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Especially, I want to hear from people. I want to hear from everybody, but I want to hear from people who played the original. How does this stack up from that? I never played it, so I don't know if it's like better, worse, whatever. Let me know. And if you went to a blind, what'd you think? Positives, negatives. Let me know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to EpiPen, EpiPen, Rebrushed. And then the last game we played in January was Need for Speed Unbound. If you didn't get a chance to play Need for Speed Unbound, it's another Need for Speed where you drive fast in a bunch of different cars, except for this time around, the cars have like animation, like almost like hand-drawn, vibrant neon animations that you can see when you're driving quickly. All the characters look very cartoony. And yeah, it just has a different kind of art style. But in it, you race, you get money, you buy cars or win cars, you upgrade those cars by tuning them. The game allows you to play more standard, like driving fast and braking, going around corners. It also has a drift system, and it encourages you to do both. So it's definitely aiming for an audience of like, if you're into the Underground series or if you're into the other Need for Speed games, you should be able to play this. The big thing in this game is being able to customize your cars and add animations to them that makes the game really stand out visually. For instance, when you go off jumps, wings will come out of your car that look like they're drawn. You can change those out to whatever. When you peel out, smoke will come out of your car, but there'll be like neon highlights around the smoke that makes it look animated. Just different animations that you can add outside of the customization you would already expect from a racing game. There is now even more customization to add to the car as you drive. And then also, it's a Need for Speed game, so it has a day-night cycle in which cops will be alerted and come after you during the day, but at night they're looking for you. And as soon as they see you, they'll come after you. It has a wanted system, similar like Grand Theft Auto, where the longer you're being chased by people, the wanted system goes up. You get helicopters coming after you, all sorts of shit, and they'll try to arrest you and impound your vehicle. But if you race at night, you get rewarded more. So there's a risk and reward system in the game that is there for people who want an extra challenge for extra reward. We both played it, and let's jump into your thoughts on Need for Speed Unbound in January.
Yeah.
It also has multiplayer online.
Yeah. So you know what kind of sucks? What sucks is Forza exists.
Yep.
And this game definitely wants to borrow some of that stuff and just doesn't commit to any of it. And it just really feels shallow in that regard.
Like features and activities.
Yeah, the game feels outside of like, obviously the shtick to the game, which is the very bright, colorful effects and stuff like that.
Which I actually like.
I don't, but I'll get to that. The game felt like super shallow to me. I don't know. I just like was not super into it. I'm not a big racing game fan anyways, but I love Forza Horizon. So,
yeah, it's easily the best arcade racer out there.
Yeah, I never in my life would have thought I would have liked that series, and I played Forza Horizon. I think it was the third one. That was the first one I played, and I was like, holy crap, I love this game. So
yeah, they're fun.
And I don't even like racing games. So it's, but I'm not to talk about that too much, but like it's obviously inspiring
let's
games
review
at this point,
Forza Horizon.
Right? Because when you come up with a good idea, people want to borrow from it. So, and that's not a bad thing. That's where you get new ideas as well. So,
well, games before Forza Horizon were doing what Forza Horizon's doing. It's just they didn't do it as well.
Right.
And they did it well, and now everyone's still trying to do that, but no one's doing it as well as them. So it's just like,
Yeah.
it's rough.
So I guess I just don't play Need for Speed that much anymore. But I thought the racing felt kind of bad, if I'm being honest. I just felt like obviously it's forcing you to do the drifting and stuff like that for a lot of it. But I was just like, I don't know how to word it. It felt almost like stiff, I guess, when I was trying to take corners, and I just like really had to slow down. I felt like, and maybe I'm just bad, which is possible, right? But I've played other racing games, and they don't feel so stiff to me. So maybe I just don't like the way this one plays.
So I've heard this from like 3 people now this month, which is validating because I bought this when this game first came out because I thought the visuals were kind of neat. I was like, oh, that's cool. They're doing something different. Like, what can Need for Speed offer outside of police chases?
Yeah.
That other racing games don't. And then I saw all these cool animations. I'm like, that's kind of neat because it adds more customization. I bought it. I played it, I think, for like a couple hours. Uninstalled it. I was past the point of being able to refund it. And it just sat there. I didn't play it anymore. And mostly it's because I wanted to play it online, and the online functionality was less than it is now. They have added to it. I'll get to that in my review. But the functionality online sucked. It was just like versus. You just drove around, look for races to race against people. And then the cars felt like shit. I started with one car. It drove like shit. And then even this month, playing on PS5, I picked a different car. And that car felt like shit.
Okay.
And I was just like...
So I'm not crazy.
Like, all these cars feel like shit. What the fuck? I have to tell you guys, though, and I don't know why the fuck they did this. They make the cars feel terrible, so when you upgrade them, they finally feel drivable. And then eventually feel really good.
So they're nerfed feeling.
They're nerfed, yeah. From all the cars I've tried, because after forcing myself to play it this month for the channel, I finally got to the point where I was like drifting really well and fucking... I was like winning, like I wasn't winning races at all in the beginning of the game. Like it was tough as shit. Like I couldn't get into like top 3.
Right.
Like what the fuck is going on? There's no way this game's that hard. It's because the car just drove like shit, barely turned. And you obviously a less dramatic version of what I'm saying is every racing game. You start with a car that's not that great. You build it up to the point where it's awesome.
Right.
But in this game, it's not that the car's not that great. It's like bad. And so the most crucial time to keep somebody in your game is the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
And when the cars drive terribly, no matter which one you pick, because I tried all of them now, the beginner cars, it's a huge deterrent to keep playing.
Yeah.
Because I did the exact same thing when I first bought the game. I was like, I'm going to let them work on this. Maybe they can like tweak it and make it better.
Yeah.
And so this month I played it. I do think they've improved it quite a bit, but I forced myself to get past that hump because I'm like, maybe it's just the cars suck. And eventually I was having fun with the races because my car was functional finally.
Interesting.
So it's been very interesting hearing you say the exact same thing I felt when I played it originally. I think Psycho also said, he didn't say this specifically, but he said he wasn't into it either, I think. I don't want to speak for you, Psycho. And then somebody else I was talking to said it felt like shit. So it's like...
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, so... Yeah. The onboarding sucks in this game.
All right. Well, I'm not crazy then, because I was going to say I feel like kind of weird having like a strong opinion about the way it felt, especially because it's like it's not my genre, right? So like there's a level of ignorance there, but
yeah, you're not crazy.
Yeah, and then I guess the main shtick of the game outside of like the police stuff, and that part's fine, whatever. I don't have a very strong opinion one way or another about that.
I do, because when your car sucks and you're racing people and cops are after you and they seem to target you more than the other people.
Sure, they do. Yeah.
It kind of feels like shit.
Yeah.
You're like, my car sucks and these guys are just ramming into me constantly until you realize you need to be attacking the cops.
Yeah, I just kind of did that off the bat.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I didn't. I tried to outrace them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I couldn't. And I was like, I'm just going to start ramming them. And I did. And I was like, okay, this is how you're supposed to play, obviously. But like, when your car performance sucks, it's just like...
as soon as they started attacking me, I was like, okay, I'm just going to hit you back.
Yeah.
So, but the shtick, the pretty colors and stuff, and I'm going to applaud them for trying something.
Yeah, that's
I think you need to do that.
Yeah, you have to do something.
I found it so incredibly distracting. It's crazy. I would like be in the middle of a turn, the smoke would come up, and I would see shiny light and stare at it, and then I'd slide off the track.
Yeah, even before the game came out, I remember reacting to it and going like, "Oh, I actually really like the way this looks." And I saw all these people going like, "I fucking hate it," and other people are like, "I like it too." And I'm like, "Ooh, that's going to be divisive."
Yeah. So I don't like it. I think
Yeah.
it's incredibly distracting. So I'm just gonna, I guess, leave it at that. It's pretty simple. But like, I do applaud them for trying something. And you know what? It's more customization features. So if you can,
That's what
if
I
you
like.
that aspect of it, I do think it is a net positive to allow people to have more customization options, because one of the best parts about car games in general is like being able to work on them and add all these cool little features, whether that's like a functional piece or a cosmetic piece, right? That's like the fun, I think,
Well,
of a lot of that.
going back to Underground, those are the big things. People always want to show off their cars, the way they've painted them and
Even in
their
Forza,
underlights.
there's
And
the paint workshop there.
well, again, I didn't want to bring up Forza for the specific reason.
right.
They have a crazy customization system where you can it's like a social media hub where you can go online and download people's designs and stuff. And I still see to this day, like any game I'm playing, I'll go on Reddit and someone will post a picture of the finals car in Forza Horizon, or like their Master Chief car, whatever the fuck. Like,
Yeah, because you can just upload designs to their system. So
yeah, and then they want to share them in their communities and stuff. So it's a whole.
and I don't expect every game to be that, but like it is
all
an
of them are not.
example of like that's like a huge part of the fun. Like obviously the racing,
Yeah.
but then the car. The car is like the big thing, right? That's your baby, it's your toy. You get to use that to show off your personality, right? So yeah, props to that. I just personally hate it. So
Yeah, it's fair.
that's basically my opinion, though. I had a hard time playing it, and I uninstalled it pretty quickly. So
Yeah. Well, that was my first impression when I first played it. So I completely understand where you're coming from. Coming back to this, my intentions were to see how far it's come along since the last time I played it, and I have to say there are definitely some improvements since I last played it. The starting cars has not been improved. They feel like shit, and it's tough to get over that. But because I just forced myself to keep playing it because I wanted to give a decent review, a better than Epic Mickey Rebrushed review. I put just a little extra time into it to see if I was just playing a game that played like shit or if it's just a bad design choice of giving you shitty cars in the beginning. And the game does get better the more you play it. Before I jump into that, though, because I've already touched on that, one thing that was interesting is when I first played the game, it had multiplayer, but it was so fucking bare bones. You went in to an open city, and there was other people driving around, and then you could go to points where you could meet up and matchmake. So you drove there, matchmake, finds people, and it had a hard time finding people when the game first came out, which is crazy. I had to wait forever. And then you just race them, and it had all this lag, and it kind of sucked. That was it. That's all you could do.
it's a glorified menu at that point.
Now it has a PvP, I believe, and a PvE mode, basically. Or not a PvE mode. It's like a PvPvE mode, kind of. Not really PvPvE. But basically, you get put on a team, and then there's other people on a team, and you guys are just driving around the map, collecting stuff and getting power-ups and like completing tasks and stuff. Like there was one.
So it's like a game.
Yeah, it is a game, but you're not directly racing against people. It's kind of interesting. But for instance, there was like a truck driving down the road that popped up on the map, and I started following it. And you have to stay within a circle of the truck while it's speeding down the freeway, and you're like trying to stay with it. And if you capture it, you get points or something. And you can like extract at any time too, which I thought was interesting. Because at one point it's like you have enough points to leave or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll do that, and I left, and so I left my team behind to do whatever they're doing. But it was cool to see that because when the game launched, it didn't have something like that.
Yeah.
It only had like just race people. So it's cool to see activities because, again, not to bring up Forza Horizon, but Forza Horizon offers so many things to do that it's just like, and like the graphics are like fucking phenomenal and just the driving feels great. It's like if you're gonna make a game where it's like an arcade racer and you're gonna have an online mode and you're gonna try and do like the open world thing, you gotta they have to do something completely different than they're doing, and they're doing so much that it's kind of hard to do.
True.
Or you need to do it comparable to what they're doing. And so it is cool to see that it has evolved and there's things to do, because before I was like, I'm never playing this online again. I'm not just gonna drive around an open empty city and then matchmake with people.
Right.
Just do matchmaking. I don't need to drive around the
Just
fucking
give me a
city.
menu queuing option.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it. So yeah, the game itself, I think the graphics are fine. I do think the animations look really good. Driving does get much better. you just you have to be able to upgrade your car or far enough to finally get to experience that the driving does feel solid. I got to the point where I was like confidently drifting around corners and building up my nitrous and boosting around constantly, and it kind of felt like Mario Kart after a while. Like you're just like constantly drifting to keep boosting.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. So once it got to the point where I started feeling like Mario Kart, I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. I went from hating the police chases because I felt like my car just couldn't compete with them to actually enjoying it, to getting to the point where I would race at night. At first I didn't want to do it because I'm like, I'm not going to lose money. Like I'm just going to go to the garage. But once my car got good enough, I was racing at night. I'd get like 4 or 5 stars, whatever the max is, and there'd be helicopters coming after me. I got confident enough to be able to evade them and lose them and get back to the garage and get that risk versus reward. So I finally was able to experience what they wanted me to, which is cool. The variety of cars is pretty decent. Nothing crazy. I don't know how many there is in this game, but there's a decent amount of variety of cars. Races are pretty repetitive, which is a complaint, and not a hard complaint, but I was finding myself doing the same races a lot every day. And this game has like a calendar system. So like you spend this day, you're out racing, you stay out at night racing, and then it goes to the next day, and then there's this final event you got to complete. And that kind of works, especially with their day-night system. But yeah, it's I don't know, it didn't do much for me. But what was I talking? Repetitive races. That every single day I was like running to like a lot of the same locations, the exact same kind of race. I'd go to a place that's like, here's the drift race, and I'd do that, and eventually I like learned and memorized all the maps, and not a complaint really, but also I'd like to see more variety in locations and races. I unlocked multiple garages. The first time I played it, I didn't know you could do that. So this time around, I actually played a little bit more to actually find out the features. I think the customization's good. There's plenty of stuff to do when it comes to performance, when it comes to cosmetic. I am somebody who likes the animations. I think if you're going arcade race or whatever, and you want to have like this bold art style, why not add more ways to customize your car when you're racing against other people who have their own animations, and people are going off jumps, and everybody's got their own like different kind of like wings or whatever, or different animations for boosts or stuff and stuff. It kind of took me back to like playing Underground and Underground 2 when people had different like lighting under their cars and stuff like that, except for in this you have that and more. It definitely feels like they were in a meeting and went like, how can we just make customization even crazier? And I think they came up with this, or somebody's had this idea, and like, what if we made like a cartoon game? And they found like a middle ground between the two. When it came to the story, I could not give a fuck less. Just like every Need for Speed game.
I'll say that's not even a major point of these games.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people always going like, "Hey, let's do some racing. Underground though, this is bad. Like cops shouldn't know about this. Here's the cops." And someone betrays you, and then fucking you're like, "I gotta work my way back up to get my car." And it's just like, okay, I don't give a fuck, dude. I saw Fast and Furious. I get it. I just want to race, and when you're racing, it's fun. It does get fun. But yeah, overall, I think Need for Speed Unbound has definitely some flaws, specifically in onboarding people, which is a bad flaw to have. But once you get past all that, I think if you're into the animations that you can add to your car, because it's definitely front and center, it's the big thing of the game. I think there's some fun to be had in this game. I reinstalled it on my PC after playing on PS5 and was playing it and having fun with it. If there's anything I could really hope for, it's more variety and stuff to do. And even though they've improved it, a better multiplayer situation. I've been really spoiled by Forza Horizon, and so it's unfair. But the state of the genre now is somebody offers. It's like when Grand Theft Auto, they made Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's like eventually people are like, we can't make that.
Yeah.
We can't compete with that. It's like I kind of feel like that's what Forza Horizon's doing with arcade racers, which sucks for everybody else, but that's why somebody needs to make fucking the next Burnout or make Midnight Club. those would stand out. But Rockstar made Midnight Club, and they'll never make it again because they're making so much money off of fucking Grand Theft Auto. Why would they do that?
Yeah, I mean, they make 2 games now, so.
Yeah. But I have to just mention, and I'll leave it here. Every time we play a Need for Speed game, every time I see anyone come out, and then we play it on Plus Club or whatever, I'm always like, man, Need for Speed really is struggling to figure out what the fuck it is. Because the whole philosophy of Need for Speed is like, drive fast. Sometimes there's cops chasing you. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. We've played a lot of those, though. What else? I really applaud them for trying something different, even if they didn't completely nail it. It's nice to see them have a little bit of life still, going like, okay, we got to really brainstorm and try to do something different than other people. And I think they did. I just think they didn't do it as well as they could have. And hopefully they can update it to a place where I would love to see it Unbound too, because I do like the animation stuff. I just would like to see more features maybe. But yeah, talked about this way more than I thought I would. But yeah, I liked it. I just think the beginning of the game sucks. So, I mean, I've tried all the cars now and they all kind of suck. So you just have to get past that. Once you do though, it feels like a decent racer. So
yeah,
it's just not, last time I'll mention it, Forza Horizon. Because those games are just fucking solid. Recommendations, I would recommend this to anybody who's into arcade racers. Just get past the beginning. If you're playing and you're like, this game sucks, upgrade your car. Get a new car, upgrade it. The game does get better. Maybe not to the point where you'll love it, but it will get better, I promise, because I've experienced it now, and I've talked to people who have had the exact same opinion of the beginning of the game. So if you're into arcade racers, you didn't play this one, you should play it. If you're into racing games where you get to customize your cars, this one offers some stuff that other ones don't. So that's a plus on its part. It doesn't have as vast of customization as other games, but it's pretty good. If you like the very Need for Speed feeling of driving against other people and cops at the same time and feeling that pressure, and you miss Burnout, this isn't Burnout, but it's the closest you're probably going to get to that, because it does have a system where you are driving people into stuff and getting points for it. So play it for that, and I think that's about it. If you're not into racing games, I wouldn't recommend it to you. So especially this. If you're not into racing games, I'm going to recommend something. I would recommend the game we've mentioned multiple times. So I won't mention. You got any recommendations?
It's a racing game.
Yep. It sure is. You did your impression first? Mm-hmm. You mind grading first?
Sure.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
I'm going to give it a C-. It is just not an enjoyable game for me. But I don't think it is a bad game. But I do think there's some pretty major flaws in it. So, hopefully, if they do make another one, or if they just make another Need for Speed in general, there's a better hook in the beginning, because that's like really important.
It's so important. Getting like the first hour, you got to get someone into your game. Yeah. If you can't, I mean, I was just talking to you earlier about how I played that Outward game, which is like this RPG that has no tutorial basically, and I read all the time. People are like, it's a hidden gem, you should play it, but the beginning sucks. And I'm like, that's fucking important though, man. Yeah. I started that game up, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah. And I just quit playing it. So it's so important. And this game's definitely an example of like, you got to get that right. Because even the people who purchased your game or played it for the first time on PlayStation Plus, even if the game gets better later, they may never find out.
Yep.
So that sucks. So you gave it a C-. I would have gave it a C- too. I might have gave it a D+ when I first played it, because that was my opinion. I was like, man, they fucking really missed the mark on this. I'm gonna give it a B-. I was having fun with it finally. It just took a little bit. Even with the story that I think is stupid, but all these racing games, I'm always like, I don't care. Even Forza Horizon, it's like, you're at this festival. I'm like, I don't care. Just let me drive.
It's just a means to progress, basically.
Yeah. You're not gonna hook me with the story on a racing game. I just want to drive fast. Let me do that. But yeah, this game, even with some of its flaws, and I did see improvements, so that's a good thing. I think once you get to the point where you can enjoy the game, it is enjoyable. I was drifting around, I was boosting around, I was slamming cops into stuff, I was hiding from them and losing them. I was having fun. So yeah, B-. I don't think it's a C game for me, but with some improvements, I could see my B going up, but they're not there yet. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think about Need for Speed Unbound. Let me know everything you're thinking about it. I'm sure if you played it, you have your opinions. How do you feel about the animations? That one's super divisive for people. How did you feel about the introduction to the game? Did you have a smooth playthrough of that, or was it like hitting a wall? Favorite features, maybe least favorite features? What criticisms do you have of the game? What would you like to see from Need for Speed? Where does it need to go? Because I think it has an identity crisis, and I think this game gave it an identity. They just need to hone in on it. But what do you guys think? Do you want more underground? Do you want more Hot Pursuit? I can't remember any of the other names. Carbon? Need for Speed Carbon? That was one. Yeah, where do you think the series should go? And let us know what you're thinking about in the comments below for this game and all the games we talked about. But that's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club for January. As always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We will be doing Game of the Month. We are late on our schedule just because between... well, yesterday was my birthday. First off, I wasn't going to film on birthday, but also, me being old and broken now. Things have been difficult lately, but we are getting the episodes out, so stay tuned for that. But I've been Seth. This has been Chevy. Until the next episode, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.